It was not pretty. My heart is broken. Your heart is probably broken. The Dolphins choke away another game, and they just cannot exercise these demons against the Buffalo Bills. Right now, Buffalo owns the Miami Dolphins. Sunday night football for everybody to see. Buffalo comes away with the win, 21-14, and you look at the stats. Yes, Josh Allen did find the end zone for 2 touchdown passes, but he had 2 interceptions, also a strip sack fumble by Christian Wilkins. So 3 total turnovers, but it was a Deontay Hardy 96-yard punt return that is the difference in this game. And the Bills outscore the Dolphins in the second half. Miami didn't even score in the second half, and Buffalo outscores the Dolphins by 14 in the fourth quarter to come away with the 21-14 win. That's the story. Tua was not particularly sharp. He had 2 interceptions. One of them ended the game, just the 1 touchdown. Tyreek wasn't particularly sharp as well, some uncharacteristic drops. He still had 82 yards and a touchdown. Achane on the ground didn't really get fed a whole heck of a lot, just 10 carries for 56 yards, did have a 28-yard touchdown run. That was impressive. But at the end of the day, this offense stalled the entirety of the second half. The defense stood on its head for as long as they could, but at the end of the day, it was the Buffalo Bills outlasting Miami 21-14, and we knew what was at stake. That means Miami is not the AFC East champion. In fact, they become the wild card and the 6th seed and will now play Kansas City, whereas Buffalo solidifies the 2 seed and will play the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, we know what's in front of us for this playoff run. The Dolphins season is not over, although they are limping into the playoffs, but we want you to be a part of it. So subscribe to Dolphins Today. Join our community that we are getting closer and closer to 55,000 subscribers. And as I mentioned, even though this game did not go the way we wanted, the season is not over. The Dolphins are in the postseason, just have a really tough task in front of them. Getting back to this game where things went wrong, the Buffalo Bills were able to amount 473 yards of total offense, 345 of those yards through the air. On the ground, they just were able to churn enough yards to keep the defense honest, 128 of them. But that Dolphins defense did force 3 turnovers. However, the time of possession completely in the favor of the Buffalo Bills, especially in the second half. 38 minutes compared to just 21 minutes for the Miami Dolphins. They also turned the ball over twice with 2 Tua Tagovailoa interceptions and just 108 yards on the ground. They were over 100 yards on the ground in the first half. So simple math would tell you they didn't really run the ball too well or very effectively in the second half, just 167 yards through the air. The offense were really held down. The Bills defense put the clamps down. So, as we often do in the postgame, I'm asking you to grade the Dolphins' performance against the Bills, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments. For me, it wasn't the worst game like we saw against the Ravens, but hey, you didn't get the job done. I'm going with a C-. Want to thank GameTime for sponsoring today's post game and all season long being a part of Dolphins Today, proud presenting sponsor. And you know GameTime is your one-stop shop for all your ticket needs. Live events. If you're heading out to Arrowhead Stadium, where the Dolphins are playing next as the number 6 seed against Kansas City, use GameTime, folks. I'm telling you, it's the only ticketing app you need. You also get a nice high-res photo of where your seat will be, so there's no deception, there's no trickery. It is just as you see it on the app. In fact, the app is totally user-friendly, very easy to use, and awesome in all aspects. Just a few clicks, and you've got yourself the lowest ticket, lowest price guaranteed. That's one of the many reasons why I love GameTime. Also, great for concerts and live events as well. And all you got to do is use promo code FINSCHAT to earn $20 off. That's promo code FINSCHAT. And because we love you and we care about you, we'll put that link right in the description and the comments of today's video. But one more time, download the GameTime app. Terms do apply, and you'll receive $20 off when you use that promo code FINSCHAT. Now, You know, we love the one-word reactions to today's game, so let me know how you feel about the Dolphins in the comments. One word, and I've used disappointing before. I don't think that is strong enough of a word for how we feel about not only this game, but just the way the season ended altogether. Now, I don't want to use a word like agonizing, season's over, anything like that, because there's still work to be done for the Dolphins. The season's not over. The Miami Dolphins, are still in the playoffs, but will face the Kansas City Chiefs. And you look at what the entire AFC playoff picture looks like. It's the Miami Dolphins falling to 11-6 and falling out of the top of the AFC East title game, or outside of the AFC East, because the Bills obviously have the tiebreaker going 2-0 against the Dolphins. So your number 1 seed, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. They jump all the way up to the number 2 seed with that win. Kansas City locked in at the number 3 seed, no matter what happened today. So the Dolphins will play the Kansas City Chiefs at that 6-3 matchup, or that number 3 seed versus number 6 seed matchup. Houston will play the Cleveland Browns at the 4-5 matchup, and the Steelers sneak in there with the last playoff seed at the number 7 seed and will take on the Bills. So that's your AFC playoff picture as a whole. And yes, the Dolphins clinch the playoffs with that win over the Cowboys in Week 16, but they lose their final 2 games to fall out of contention for the AFC East, and now simply are a wild card game. And as you see, we've got the full preview for you. We'll have everything you need to know about this matchup leading up to it. Dolphins on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. And it'll be a Saturday night game. So, prime time Saturday night, and on the road against a very good Kansas City team. Although, if you look at the numbers of that Patrick Mahomes-led offense, the Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions, yes, but they are also not nearly as effective and lethal, really, that they've been in years past. So Mike McDaniel, Vic Fangio, Frank Smith, the entire Dolphins coaching staff will have their work cut out for them to prepare for such a big game against Kansas City. And like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we'll be getting you ready all week long for the Dolphins playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, to wrap it up, I want to know if you truly believe if the Dolphins can beat the Chiefs in the first round of the playoffs. It's real simple. Type Y for yes or N for no. Dolphins, now after losing to the Bills, are the 6th seed. So they will play on the road at Kansas City. And let me know if you believe in the Dolphins. Type Y for yes or N for no. And let's get our early shots called. If you believe in the Dolphins, who you got? Let me know. Type D for Dolphins or C for Chiefs. That is the playoff matchup. And again, keep it locked to Dolphins today as we get you ready all week for our playoff coverage. I know the Dolphins are limping into the postseason, but hey, not every team is playing postseason football. And now the regular season ends, postseason begins. Your mindset, everybody's at the exact same mindset. Win and you continue on, lose and your season's done. It's that simple. So yes, the Dolphins lose to the Bills. They are a wild card team, not the AFC East divisional champs like we had hoped. But the season's not over. Now the mission becomes upsetting Kansas City on the road at Arrowhead Stadium. Can it be done? Join us all week as we get you ready for that. Shout out to producer Chip on the 1s and 2s. And as I mentioned, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we'll be getting you ready all week for Dolphins against the Chiefs in the wild card round of the AFC Playoffs.